Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In this tutorial, we're going to tell you about how the robotic arm basically works. Basically, it is also called the pick and place robotic arm. So we have imported the 3D model on from SolidWorks. It was assembled on SolidWorks. Then we basically import onto MSC Adams. So how we did import? We basically simply going to select file, then select import, and file type should be Parasolid. Basically, the file on SolidWorks was saved on the Parasolid format. So here we will import the Parasolid format. It is much easier to use Parasolid format. So basically here it was the robot assembly which we import, which was basically on to solid format. We have already done that. So before moving on, I just gonna show you how basically the simulation works, and then we see the each individual procedure which we took to uh, achieve this simulation. So here just the simulation I'll show you. So it's basically a pick and place robotic arm for degree of freedom. So it just pick the box from a platform and dropping onto the conveyor belt, and it will return to its original position from which it moves. So you can see the movement of individual component, how they're gonna move. So we'll start then how this actually works. So before starting anything, we have here the bodies which we can easily see. Basically, they were built on SolidWorks, so we don't have to develop or build them again. So we have already done that in SolidWorks, so it makes our work much easier. So before moving on to, we just have to select the material which we are giving on to each and individual body parts. So from here, we just select, right click on modify and select. We have already selected steel. Basically, the whole robotic arm will be of steel material. So we have already selected that steel and robotic steel. So we're gonna do this procedure for each and individual body parts here: gripper, lower arm, upper arm, swing, gripper arm. So whole robotic arm will be of steel material. So after the this procedure was done, we move on to connectors. Connectors are again an important part. When we develop this assembly on SolidWorks, we haven't established any joint connections between these bodies. And basically, joints are there to tell you about the degree of freedom which your object gonna move. So we have selected have one, two, three joints. Basically, these are ground joints which we have basically grounded our base conveyor platform and this platform on which box is lying. So what how this gonna be achieved? You simply go into connector setting and connect select here the create a fixed joint. We have already done the pick a first body, pick a second body, where we already done that. These joint the for example you can see the platform first body was platform, second body was ground. Basically we want to ground it the and the type is fixed. So this was joint 1, similar to joint 2 was another grounded joint, and joint 3 another grounded joint. Then moving on, we need to have revolute joint. Basically, like the simulation I showed you earlier, this swing was rotating about y-axis, this arm was rotating about this axis, and this. So we need to have revolute joints for this. So we just select again like we did for grounded joint, create a revolute joint here. We have already done that. These two options I just show you how what were the setting we selected. So we selected swing refs. The first body was swing, the second body was base, and we selected revolute type. What we did for the ground joint was the fixed type, and from for revolute joint we did a revolute type. The swing and base similarly another was between the lower arm and the swing. So this was again, and similarly upper arm and swing, and then gripper arm and swing, and then couple of more revolute joint which was established on, for example, gripper arm and gripper 1, and similarly gripper arm, gripper 2, gripper 1 between these two bodies. So this was done for individual bodies. Now we're gonna see we have established the joint, but we haven't described the motion yet. So for that we'll go into motion setting, and here I'll show you we have already done, or basically we have already done the motion. So I'll just show you how we did this. So we're gonna select this rotational joint motion applicable to revolute or cylindrical joint. So we just click onto this. We've already selected this. So I just want to show you how basically it works. So this is the joint motion. We named it swing motion. Joint was swing revolution. We named this, and joint type revolute, which was already default selected. Direction rotational define using we define this motion basically here using the function category. So function name was this. I just show you how function basically select. So basically here we select step category and then click on to assist. So here we have a dependent variable x. So we'll plot our functions, the graph and all that against time. So here we just write time here, and the here it is asking about the time at which gonna begin and time is gonna end. So we'll just write time, for example 0 here, and at what time it will end the motion. So at 3 it end the initial value, function value. Basically they are asking about the position. The word will be the position of your joint at time t equal to 0, and what will be the final position at time t equal to 3. So we have already done that. You can see here the x naught at 0, x1 as well. So basically x is the dependent variable. Here we have time, and the x naught is the initial time which was 2, and the initial position was at 0 on rest, and x1 is the time at end which was 3, and h1 with the final position which we have given 90 Similarly, this function was basically we are talking about the swing function here. So what we have seen earlier that how swing was working. Swing was rotating 180 degree basically about z y axis. So this step function was to rotate 180 degree, and this step function was used to return to its original position. So so we have seen this how this step function is gonna work. We did the same procedure for every other revolute joint. So this was the gripper arm, revolute joint. So these were the step functions. Basically, we gave the step 1, step 2, and step 3 to return to its original. Similarly, we did for upper arm and for lower arm. So that was it for the motions. The four motions which we gave, this was rotating 180 degree, this arm was rotating about this axis. The basically now you can see the arrow key which are also depicting the direction of motion. So we have seen bodies, we have seen connectors, how they were established, how the motion was established. Now moving on to very important part, the forces. Now we have these four contact forces, one torque and three torsion springs. So we're going to see one by one. Basically, the contact forces were required. We just gonna select force contact, and the contact forces were required because the gripper arm, when they grip the box, they basically exert the impact forces onto the box. The box hairline is exerting impact force on this platform. The box will be placed on the conveyor belt in future, that will gonna act impact force. So we have to step believe these impact forces. So what we have to do, we just have to select create a contact. So here we have a create a contact category. We select the solid to solid type. Basically, we have all the materials, body parts which are solid. Here we are gonna select the solid part which we want to, and another solid body. So I'll just show you, we have already done that. So this was the contact one, which was between the solid 27, which is basically the box, and solid 33, which is basically the platform. So we have basically select solid to solid, the impact, the normal forces impact, and the stiffness. These were the values which we give here. So similarly, this was done by here again. This is the box, this is the gripper arm, basically the gripper arm, the white color showing, and then again box and the other gripper arm, and the box and the conveyor platform. So this is how the contact forces work. Then we establish our torque here. Basically, the you can see here. I just zoom it out for you. So we have a torque applied here. Basically, this gripper arm will be rotating and will be like losing about its axis, about you can say x-axis, and then it will grab the box and place onto that. So for that we have to give the torque. So here we modify the torque for, we have established the torque. So however, we only establish the torque for one end, and for the other end we'll use the coupler category. So you can see from here. So here we see a coupler category. We just select and modify. Basically, we don't have to apply torque for both ends. We just simply have to apply torque on one end, and using the coupler command we can also apply a torque on the other end. Basically, it acts as a couple. When both two forces act on a perpendicular distance, they are called a couple. So a kind of, you can say, a coupler will act like that. So two joint coupler we selected here by displacement. The displacement was given. The driver was GA1, about which we applied the torque, and the coupled the GA2, about which we haven't applied the torque. So how this is how the torque category one. Then again moving on, we applied torsion spring to the gripper arm, between the gripper arm and the gripper. Similarly, the torsion was applied between the white plate for visual impact and this gripper. You can say our gripper arm. Basically, these are grips or gripper arm. We have named them similar, very similar. So it kind of create a confusion. So this is how we establish three torsion springs. So that is it for the forces, and then everything is done. The bodies we have established, and all the conditions we have given. The materials has been selected. On connectors we have given the joints, and for the motions we have established the motions as well. How gonna they move, and the forces category is also been done. So everything is done till now. Now we'll move on to the simulation part. Okay, for the simulation part, we just select the simulation here, and then we move on to the setting. So we have already have a simulation report script name, that is. So we just want to show how we went on to that. So here we select the end time, whatever will be the end time of yours. We have the end time at 5 seconds. So here we select the scripted and then simulation script and create. So here we have a robot sim script one. So we have already created the script for the simulation. So we're just gonna see how this works. So here, when you gonna open here, so the script name you can name whatever, and then script type is Atom Solver commands. So this was selected Atom Solver command, and from here this drop box we selected append ACF command, which you can see here inside Atom ACF command here. So then we just simply write the function simulate function, the deactivate contact, deactivate the S4 simulate dynamic, and end time and the steps. So this can be edited according to our own situation, whatever. However, this was required here, so we just simply put our commands here, the steps and everything. Basically, you can select activate, deactivate, whatever command you want. So we have deactivate this command, we have deactivate this command. So we simply select this command, and so that how was simulation part was done. We're gonna see how the results are obtained. So we simply have to select a post processor, or you can simply go here, simulate, and here we have a plotting. Simply select this, and we have a plotting window opened. So now we have the plotting window opened here, which is also known as the Atom processor data. So what I have done, we have the result section, we have multiple graphs. So this was a very simple process. So we see the one by one. So here you are gonna select the object, and for filter category you're gonna select body, and simply here you're gonna whatever the component about for which you have want to have characteristics. For example, I'll just show you for one example. I select lower arm, and then we have the a characteristic which we want to plot. For example, I select here angular velocity, the magnitude, and simply select add curves. So here we have a curve for 5-second motion for angular velocity of lower arm. We can also plot the angular velocity of upper arm, or on the same graph we just have already selected angular velocity, the magnitude, simply add curve. So we have uh, upper arm angular velocity as well. For gripper arm, again just simply add, we have another graph, or you can select any other component we have showing here. So we just want to select, so you can draw multiple graphs on the same sheet as well, or you can select individual sheet for individual graph. So I did the procedure for the same for every the component. For example, I have plotted graph for showing the upper arm and the gripper arm and the lower arm, the angular velocity, the angular acceleration, kind of graph here, or a position. You can also see if I see x, y, and z. So these kind of graph were plotted and can be found on the result section in the report. So this was the plot for the bodies. Moving on, we have another category, the force. So we want to, if we want to see the how the contact force or the impact force was varying with passage of time. So we have selected contact 1, or you can say the contact 2 and element force, the magnitude, head curve. So this is how the force was varying the passage of time. We can plot for contact 3 on the same graph, or if you want to see on another graph. So this is how this basically was the box and the conveyor. So you can see the till the almost 4.7 seconds there was no force as depicted by the graph, and there was sudden force when the box was placed on the conveyor belt. There was a sudden force felt by the conveyor belt. So these all graphs you can see will be find you can find on the in the report. So torque was also applied. So we just saw how the magnitude was with the passage of time. Basically, this is depicting the step function we use to define the torque, similarly torsion and every other system. Then moving on to the third filter, which is actually constraint. So here we have many categories, like where we have basically the motion which we applied on the joints. So you can find them here. Basically, these are the joints motion, and these are the motion which we applied onto the joint. So I have plotted the graph for motions. For example, the angular velocity, how was the gripper arm angular velocity was varying. Similarly, I have plotted the lower arm angular velocity, showing arm upper arm angular velocity. So this can be found on the result section. Yeah, so this is how the plotting was done. Earlier we have seen the simulation, and now this was the plotting. So this is how we have achieved the simulation part on MSc Adams and work out the software based calculation of the graph on this. So that is it for today. Hope you have understood all the procedure, the steps which we have shown in this video. Also, these steps were can be found on the report. I have already screenshots the steps and pasted on the report. So those steps are also available there. So if you haven't understood anything on this simulation video, you can refer to those documents. Thank you.